I think a lot of us will say, well, I'm a good person. I try to be a good person, and I can figure stuff out on my own. And I got a good family, good friends, good life, all of which I did on my own, by the way. So what the heck do I need God for? Honestly, this used to be me. Now don't worry, I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, you need God because you're going to hell or you need to be saved. Because if somebody said that to me when I was at that stage, let's just say that wouldn't have gone over very well. And I probably would have shut the door to God forever. But instead, I hope this to be more like a proposal or an open invitation to something that I just really, really love. So just hear me out and then take it or leave it. It's totally up to you. I've always loved the line, and I'm just going to say it my own way, that we think we're physical creatures seeking just some short experience of the spiritual. But in reality, we're spiritual creatures living just some short experience of the physical. Now, I don't care who you are, what you believe. I'm sure that resonates with every single one of us, because I think we all know it, whether we believe in it or not, that there has to be something else that goes way beyond just this world and way beyond just get born, go to school, go to work, have a family, and die. There has to be. And this isn't just wishful thinking. I think we know it because it's our experience. We feel it in that deep inner part of ourselves that hungers for something more. Every single one of us is made up of both the physical and the spiritual. Now, our physical bodies hunger for the physical: touch, food, water, warmth. And when we get these, we feel happy. But if we don't, our bodies feel sick and slowly die. Now, in the same way, our spirit or soul, or whatever you want to call it, hungers for the spiritual. Truth, as in those answers every single one of us are looking for. Love, as in every single one of us longs to be loved. But even deeper than that, I think we all hunger just to be accepted. And goodness, as in every single one of us wants to be good and wants what is good. And we all think we know what that is, but often we find out down the road that what we thought was good wasn't actually good for us at all. And when we get these things, we feel joy, which is different from happiness. Happiness comes from something on the outside. Joy comes from something on the inside. But when we don't, our souls feel sick and slowly die. And that's what we feel in that inner emptiness or restlessness of heart. Now, I know some of you are thinking, yeah, but why are these things spiritual? Well, ask yourself, are these things in their most perfect, purest form something we've invented or something we discover? For example, math. 1 + 1 = 2 is still true, even if there were no universe. So math is something we discover, not something we invented, but it has to come from somewhere. So these basic fundamental truths predate us, but they have to come from somewhere, and that somewhere is what we've been searching for since the beginning of time. Okay, bear with me here. The best way I've ever heard to put this all together is something I'm going to steal from Fulton Sheen. Now, there are 3 levels in life, and every single one of us wants what is best, or what is higher. We're just built that way. Now, the bottom level is all about the carnal, pleasure, vanity, feeding my senses. As long as it looks good and I feel good doing it, then I don't really care about anything else. The second level is the level of intellectual enlightenment, all human knowledge, the arts and sciences, culture and society, humanity and the common good. Now, this level is much more grand than the first, but it only goes as far as our human understanding. The third level is the level of the spiritual, basically everything else, that goes beyond what we can see and touch, and beyond all our human understanding. This is where we find the source of pure truth that every single one of our minds was designed to seek, of pure love that every single one of our hearts was made to be filled with, and to share, and the pure, perfect good that every single one of our souls desires. And just as flesh and blood can only come from flesh and blood, spirit can only come from spirit. And this first pure spirit is where we come from, which explains why we sometimes feel homesick for something that we don't even know what it is. Now, if we live our lives down here in the basement, we're bored, miserable, and we don't get anywhere. Bored because any pleasure done in repetition only leads to boredom. Miserable because we're searching for all these things and things where clearly they can't be found. And we don't go anywhere because there's no development of our minds. Now, I'd say most of us probably live here, and we're good, loving, intelligent people. More or less, because there's all the shades of these things here, but never in their fullness. And we live comfortable lives in our comfortable homes watching Netflix and ball games, and we're happy. Enough. But deep down, there's still a dullness. Something's still missing. And we ask ourselves, is this all there is? And inevitably, we find ourselves at the crossroads, where we start searching for this, or go back down here. I think there are actually very few of us who live here. I wish I could say I'm one of them, but I'm not. I think like many of us, I fight my battles on all three. But I know it's there, and I know it's real. And once we get just the tiniest little glimpse of it, we're like, that's it. That's what I need. And you can tell right away the people who do live here, because they're marked with an unshakable peace that's not of this world. And they're the most attractive people we'll ever meet in our lives. Now we can get from here to here on our own, with a little discipline, a blowing up of our egos, and the challenging of our minds. And we can try to get from here to here on our own, but it's hard. We're going to make a lot of mistakes, be easily deceived, and only go so far. Because we can't. It's so far beyond our human categories of thinking. It would be like, let's say there was life on another dimension. Now we could rationalize and theorize and try to postulate some idea of what it might be like there. But unless we actually go there or somebody from there comes here, we have no idea. So this is where God made it easy for us. He took all this, all truth, goodness, and love, everything through which you and I and all of existence was created. Everything that actually is himself. And he embodied it into a human person and sent him here saying, teach them real truth. Love them with our love and show them what is goodness. And he entered into our dimension, our space and time, our history. And he says, very gently and lovingly, with the force of all existence in his voice, I am the way and the truth. I am the bread that your soul is longing for. Come to me, and I will give you rest. You see, this is why Jesus is such a big deal, and why, to me, my most urgent need. So as I said in the beginning, I hope this to be more like an open invitation that we have our entire lives to respond to. And it doesn't come from me. And the invitation is simple. I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and all the videos, and all the comments, the good and the bad, all the emails, and to every single one of you who have helped us financially. I cannot thank you enough. If you'd like to support this channel, please check out the links below. We honestly cannot survive without you. And once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.